Wonder of the day number 410. Who takes the longest nap? Have you ever wondered who takes the longest nap? How is hibernation different from sleep? Which animals hibernate? Today's Wonder of the Day was inspired by Kylie from Atlanta. Kylie wonders, how do animals hibernate? Thanks for wondering with us, Kylie. As cold weather approaches, what changes do you make? You probably start to wear heavier clothing, including long pants, long sleeve shirts, and coats. You may also break out the gloves and a hat if the temperature drops below freezing. But do you think about moving far away or sleeping for the next several months? Probably not. But that's exactly what many animals do when sunlight fades and temperatures begin to drop. Since animals can't shop at the local grocery store for their food, they have to figure out how to make it through the cold winter months when their food supplies may become threatened. While animals will often grow thicker fur and store up food, many animals face a serious choice about how to survive the winter: move or hibernate. Which option they choose depends a lot on how big they are, how much energy they use, and what they like to eat. For some animals, it's easier to migrate or move to a new area that's either warmer or has more food. For example, many species of birds migrate south in the winter to stay warm and find new sources of food to last them throughout the winter. For other animals, it might take too much energy to migrate. Instead, many animals choose to hunker down for the winter and hibernate. Cartoons and stories may make hibernation seem something like a long nap, but in fact, it's something quite different. Animals that hibernate actually enter into a state much like a coma. When hibernating, an animal's breathing and heart rate slows significantly. Its body temperature drops, sometimes by quite a bit. It stops eating and often stops going to the bathroom too. All of these changes allow the animal to survive by using very little energy. When you take a nap, your body undergoes some minor physical changes during sleep. Sleep, however, is mostly a change in mental state, and it's usually easy to snap out of. When your alarm goes off, you can usually get up and be ready to function fairly quickly. When animals hibernate, however, their bodies undergo significant physical changes they're not always easy to snap out of. In fact, hibernating animals often show signs of sleep deprivation when they emerge from hibernation. When an animal comes out of hibernation, it often needs a lot of sleep over the next several days to resume normal functions. Not all animals hibernate in the same way, though. When some animals hibernate, they appear dead and will have little activity during the entire time they are hibernating. These true hibernators include woodchucks, bats, and ground squirrels. Other animals, such as bears, may go in and out of hibernation during the winter, waking more easily and being more active throughout hibernation period. These light sleepers include bears, skunks, raccoons, and opossums. Even cold-blooded animals like snakes, turtles, and frogs hibernate. Since they can't warm themselves up, they have to find ways to protect themselves from the cold. Snakes, for example, might go underground. Frogs and turtles, on the other hand, often bury themselves in the mud below. Frogs and turtles, on the other hand, often bury themselves in mud below the frost line. Wonder what's next? Step up on to and let tomorrow's wonder of the day help you take flight. Try it out. Are you ready to hibernate? Find a friend or family member to help you check out the following activities. If you're like most kids, you probably don't like to take naps. If you ask your parents, though, they would probably jump up at the chance to take a nice long nap. Since humans don't have any particular season when food is scarce, there's no reason for you to hibernate. It can be fun to imagine what it might be like to hibernate though. How would you prepare to hibernate? Where do you think you'd like to sleep for a couple of months? What would you take with you? How would you stock up in food in advance? Discuss your potential hibernation plan with a friend or family member. While your imagination is fired up, think about what would happen if you actually hibernated and slept for 3 months in a row. What would you think and feel when you wake up? What's the first thing you would do? Would you be curious about what's happened while you were asleep? How would you find out? Write a short story about your imaginary hibernation experience. Most of us think of bears when we think of hibernation. They're not the only animals that hibernate. Read through 11 surprising animals that hibernate online to learn more about some other animals that hibernate during the winter.